Imagine walking into your state's capital during the week of Christmas and seeing this monstrosity. It's a so-called art display in Illinois depicting the satanic figure Baphomet as a baby. It sits right next to the Nativity.
In case you're wondering if it's really a spiritual war we're watching, here's this news story. The Illinois Elementary School is offering an after-school Satan club.
You may think it's cruel to allow a minor to identify publicly as fringe, weirdos, and losers.
No, it's not going to happen. It's a scare tactic. Let's recognize it for what it is.
Satan clubs.
Beelzebub goes Beazel whatever.
The devil has been trying to destroy Christmas for 2,000 years.
They're phonies. I think that they probably hate Christians.
They are mocking religious expression and the Nativity.
All right, so you're probably going to go to hell, right?
Not to play shrink, but it has to do with what was clearly an unhappy childhood that you had.
When you're 18, Satan sex, do your thing.
I'm not just speaking as a Christian, I'm speaking as an American. They don't like Christians, they don't like Christianity, They don't like Jesus. So what can we do? Let's create a fake religion and put up a fake display, and I don't think that should be honored. I mean, if a real religion wants it, you can talk to them, but this is just a joke. They're just being nasty.
They go after Christians because they're easy targets. They don't go after the people that'll chop your heads off.
Right.
They never do. And you know what? I don't blame them because they know they'll die.
Why is this happening, and what can the church do about it?
Well, I think the church has got a lot of work to do, and we need to be doing evangelism. We need to be sharing with people how they can have a relationship with God through faith in Christ. I'm not talking about religion. There's a lot of religion in the world. And I'm talking about how you can have a relationship with God, and that's through faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. So I think we got a lot of work. I'm certainly not going to be out of a job, I don't think, because there's a lot of work to do.
First of all, we don't believe in Satan. For myself personally, I don't believe in the perceived notion of God or hell. But as it stands, if we take that context of Satan, I look at it in literature as he was the rebel. He is the one that stood up and said, I don't think so, people need knowledge.
I mean, Satan as a metaphorical character in literature has been kind of like the alternative to just because, or as I say so.
Satan stands for the rebel. It's for things that I want to stand up for, like bodily autonomy. Things that we're human beings. We all have the same needs and wants. So we should all be looking at each other like that beyond religion or what one believes in.
The simple kind of elevator pitch for the Satanic Temple is that we're a non-theistic religion in opposition to arbitrary authority. We align ourselves against the rising theocratic movement, particularly in the United States today, and we have a set of affirmative values we feel that are in line with that kind of rejection of arbitrary authority and tyrannical motions that we see being enacted.
Like Satanism, I have these, when you think about the tenets and our deeply held beliefs, it kind of motivated me as a person to give back and to kind of strive to be a better person.
So I think that as a Satanist, I find a lot more meaning in reaching out to the community. A lot of our projects are, all of our projects are, community outreach based.
Well, it's called the After School Satan Club, but we don't engage in religious indoctrination. We're not trying to convert children to Satanism. It just happens to be a club run by the Satanic Temple, and we put it into school districts where they do have proselytizing evangelical clubs, but we have parents in multiple school districts who want an alternative.
Jesus said in his last command that we should go into all the world, and that includes going to children.
He paid the price for everyone.
We don't describe hell. We simply say the punishment for sin is separation from God eternally.
Well, obviously we don't view Satan as evil, and it really doesn't matter to us what your mythology is surrounding Satan. You need to ask yourself if your distaste over us identifying as Satanists is strong enough that you would abandon the principles of free speech and religious liberty.
Out in public, people will see the sweater and they just say, they just have this overwhelming, fear or hatred, and it's a misconception.
No, we realize that people are going to have that kind of visceral reaction, and people have their assumptions about what self-identified Satanism means to the people who are engaged with it or practicing it. And that's fine. It's up to us to put forward the public messaging to let people know who we really are and what we really believe and what we do. And part of that is allowing us to engage in the public forum in ways in which we can show people and lead by example and show what we really mean when we say these things and what we're really doing.
My faith comes from myself. I am that higher power. And for a long time I was a Buddhist. I still practice Buddhism. But Satanism has given me a choice and a chance to stand up and do more and work with people in the community, a lot of marginalized people that get overlooked in a lot of areas.
For a long time before I was a Satanist, I consider myself an atheist. And I think that the difference for me personally was, as Stone said, kind of getting more involved.
Atheism is just kind of defining what you're not. Defines what you don't do. And for me, in my Satanism defines what I do and what I am, as opposed to what I'm not and what I don't do. Treating people equally and giving out and doing good the best we can is who we are, as opposed to what we're not.
I think it's important to note too that as much as people have threatened my life, we get a lot of support too. I think that people do see what we're doing in the community and they appreciate it. I do have a lot of people that come up to us and say, thank you for what you do, how can we help, or they just say thank you, and that means a lot to us. So as much as it sucks to have people threaten your lives constantly, it is, for me, it's worth it.
It's worth it.